Saenger, California. Saenger is a city in Fresno County, California, United States. The population was 24,270 at the 2010 census, up from 18,731 at the 2000 census. Saenger is located 13 miles, 21 kilometers, east-southeast of Fresno, at an elevation of 371 feet, 113 m. Etymology. Saenger is named for Joseph Saenger, Jr., an official of the Pacific Improvement Company, which was an affiliate of the Southern Pacific Railroad. Geography. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 5.5 square miles, 14 square kilometers, all land. History. In 1886 the Southern Pacific Company referred to the area as Saenger Junction, concerning plans to improve access to the fertile land. Later the area was known simply as Saenger. The name commemorates Joseph Saenger, Jr., Secretary-Treasurer of the Railroad Yardmasters Association, who visited California in 1887. In 1888 the Pacific Improvement Company owned and sold lots on the site and the first post office opened. In 1890 the Kings River Lumber Company built a 62-mile-long log flume to transport timber from the High Sierras to Saenger. That year more than 75 buildings were erected. The Saenger Railroad Depot was built in 1887 next to the Southern Pacific Railroad line that connected Fresno to Porterville. It is a Southern Pacific Standard Design two-story combination depot number 13 or 19. Saenger became a center for shipping grain, citrus, and lumber from the nearby mountains. When the depot was retired, it was the oldest building in the city and was donated to the Saenger Historical Society, which turned it into the Saenger Depot Museum in 1977. By 1908 Saenger contained a grammar school, a high school, 7 churches, 2 newspapers, an opera house, a bank, grain warehouses, packing houses, and 2 physicians. The city incorporated in 1911. In 1949, the city was designated the nation's Christmas tree city by the U.S. Postal Service. In May 2015, Mayor Joshua Mitchell resigned amid corruption allegations and alleged threats to him and his family. Demographics. 2010. The 2010 United States Census reported that Saenger had a population of 24,270. The population density was 4,393.7 people per square mile, 1,696.4/km superscript 2. The racial makeup of Saenger was 14,454, 59.6%. White, 219, 0.9%. African American, 311, 1.3%. Native American, 758, 3.1%. Asian, 39, 0.2%. Pacific Islander, 7,645, 31.5%, from other races, and 844, 3.5%, from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 19,537 persons, 80.5%. The census reported that 24,136 people, 99.4% of the population, lived in households, 46, 0.2%, lived in non-institutionalized group quarters, and 88, 0.4%, were institutionalized. There were 6,659 households, out of which 3,667, 55.1%, had children under the age of 18 living in them, 3,736, 56.1%, were opposite-sex married couples living together, 1,276, 19.2%, had a female householder with no husband present, 565, 8.5%, had a male householder with no wife present. There were 526, 7.9%, unmarried opposite-sex partnerships, and 49, 0.7%, same-sex married couples or partnerships 894 households, 13.4%, were made up of individuals and 459, 6.9%, had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.62. There were 5,577 families, 83.8% of all households. The average family size was 3.90. The population was spread out with 8,164 people, 33.6%, under the age of 18, 2,559 people, 10.5%, aged 18 to 24, 6,685 people, 27.5%, aged 25 to 44, 4,575 people, 18.9%, aged 45 to 64, and 2,287 people, 9.4%, who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 29.2 years. For every 100 females, there were 97.4 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 95.6 males. There were 7,104 housing units at an average density of 1,286.1 per square mile, for 96.5/km superscript 2, of which 6,659 were occupied, of which 3,873, 58.2%, were owner-occupied, and 2,786, 41.8%, were occupied by renters. The homeowner vacancy rate was 3.1%, the rental vacancy rate was 5.3%. 13,826 people, 57.0% of the population, lived in owner-occupied housing units and 10,310 people, 42.5%, lived in rental housing units. 2000. As of the census of 2000, there were 18,931 people, 5,220 households, and 4,306 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,985.8 people per square mile, 1,538.8/km superscript 2. There were 5,420 housing units at an average density of 1,141.1 per square mile, 440.6/km superscript 2. The racial makeup of the city was 49.53% white, 0.42% Black or African American, 1.20% Native American, 1.96% Asian, 0.08% Pacific Islander, 43.16% from other races, and 3.64% from two or more races. 80.92% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race. There were 5,220 households, out of which 47.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 57.2% were married couples living together, 17.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 17.5% were non-families. 14.3% of all households were made up of individuals and 8.4% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.60 and the average family size was 3.91. In the city, the population was spread out with 34.1% under the age of 18, 11.6% from 18 to 24, 27.7% from 25 to 44, 16.6% from 45 to 64, and 10.1% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 28 years. For every 100 females, there were 100.6 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 99.3 males. The median income for a household in the city was $32,072, and the median income for a family was $33,219. Males had a median income of $26,443 versus $22,808 for females. The per capita income for the city was $11,625. About 21.0% of families and 23.7% of the population were below the poverty line, including 30.3% of those under age 18 and 15.7% of those age 65 or over. Music and arts. In downtown Saenger is a mural of German-born actress Nastasia Kinski, daughter of actor Klaus Kinski. This was created in 1982 by Saenger native artist Jose Mauro Alvarado, who now resides in the San Francisco Bay Area. Notable people. Saenger Union High School. Saenger Union High School's mascot is the Apaches. Saenger Union High School moved into a new facility at 1045 Bethel Avenue during the 1999-2000 school year. The Apaches football team receives a large amount of fan support, along with their head coach Chuck Shedden.